Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of Sarah and Jen and Norman and Dawn, I want to welcome you all here. It's so special to be here. Lorraine had a number of very special moments here, a lot of time. And so it's just so special to us to be able to gather for her celebration. And we thank Jim and Christina for making the court town so available to us. It is just, it's so perfect. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lorraine's friend, Sheila. Lorraine made me promise to speak about her at her service. One day, she just reached out very gently, took my hand, and said, "Sheila, promise me." I am so grateful to Sarah, Jen, Norman, and Dawn. They delayed her celebration until we could be back from our trip, and I could keep that promise. I'm wearing sandals. She always got a kick. I refuse to wear shoes until November. So Lorraine, I've got my open-toed sandals. And this is for you, my very special friend. I'm going to begin with a reading from the Old Testament.
And the reading is from Ecclesiastes. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance.
Lorraine was a very spiritual person. We often spent time pondering the richness of life, the wonder of nature, the goodness of people, and the real presence of a God, a spirit that somehow gave meaning to it all. It is in that sacred place, however, that we dwell in such mystery. And perhaps the greatest mystery in living is dying. There are so many unanswered questions. In this place of such mystery, we come to sacredness. We enter not with our minds and thoughts and ideas and actions, but rather with our hearts and our souls, knowing that there is more to our humanness than what is tangible. I truly believe that that spiritual part of who we are lives on, and so did Lorraine. Our spirits too will one day join Lorraine's, and maybe find her singing with the angels. Lorraine, as Dennis once said, was such a tiny person, but with such a huge presence. In remembering how much she loved her music, and what we call in our family her water songs, the image came to me of skipping a stone into the sea. As we look at the stony shore, we look around to find just the right stone. But as we let it go, we lose sight of it, while the ripples stay with us, absorbing our attention, gentle and far-reaching. And so it is with Lorraine. Lorraine, so truly one of a kind. we must gently let her go and open our hearts to the loving, beautiful, laughable ripples she has left us with. So now, how does one pay tribute to such a person as our Lorraine? And how can we begin to put into words the many ways she touched and gifted each one of us here? Her gentle ripples of love and kindness, and sometimes not so gentle ripples of advice and opinion. Lorraine intrigued me. She knew so much, but never flaunted it. Rather, she scattered her many seeds of wisdom and knowledge in those moments she felt so appropriate. And she had such an enjoyable sense of humor. Very dry humor. How we used to laugh together. We'd just laugh at her funny quips. She had a way of just kind of tickling your funny bone. Lorraine, how we'll miss laughing with you. She was a nurse through and through. She cared so much about her families and friends' physical and emotional well-being. And yet, as we all know, when asked, "How you doing, Lorraine?" her quick reply was always, "Fine, I'm good." Dennis would sometimes look her in the eye and say, "Lorraine, you're lying." And she would just look him right back in the eye and just give that little Lorraine smile. She cared so much about everybody else. The nurses up at Jervinsky seemed to love her. She spoke their language. There was no pat on the hand, "Now be a good patient," with Lorraine. They accepted her as one of them. There was such an amazing rapport between her and so many of them. And she loved her nursing career. The stories she relayed from the early days in Northern Ontario, sometimes part of the air ambulance teams, to the Southern United States, stories often involving her friend Barb. And lastly, of course, at Victoria Gardens, where she did all she could to make residents feel they were truly home, and where she was so respected and loved and appreciated by the staff and the residents. She'd now be ordering those homemade apple and pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving from their kitchens. She was a nurse through and through. But most of all, oh my God, she lived and loved life. She embraced each day as a gift and as an adventure. And when she became very ill, Tom got very skilled at wheeling her to and from her festivities. Often just small outings, like our favorite lunchtime spots, including the wing chairs by the fireplace here at the Court Town, or wandering around the market downtown, dropping into antique shops with me. She had such an eye for really pretty, quality things. All simple pleasures, but always fun, and always with no shortage of gab. her delight in and love of music. Like probably many of us here, Dennis and I met Lorraine at the Corktown. We'd come on a Friday night for the old kitchen party gang with Darren, Randall, and Owen, little Liam, later the McKennas. Such good fun with the singing of Mickey and Peter and Dennis, adding to the fun atmosphere of those Friday nights. Then came the Tuesday night Irish music sessions. Sessions she so enjoyed, led by Bonnie and Desi and Padraig. How she loved being here. And when the Irish dance lessons were on, again, she could often be found by that fireplace, watching the dancing happen. What a shock one night, the bunch of us all sitting at the table at the Irish music session, when she announced quite quietly, but proudly, "Well, I'm a monarchist." And we all went, "What?" And then she proceeded to tell us all the wonderful things there are about the monarchy. That was our Lorraine. And the Corktown staff she came to know so well, how well we were looked after when she was around. She loved being able to drop by in the afternoons and chat with the staff and with what she called her Corktown buddies. But of course, it was you, Lorraine's family, that were everything to her. How she loved coming from a large family filled with all kinds of characters, she used to tell me. And you, her kids, she loved you and she talked about you every day of your life, of her life. And your dad, Earl, remained so much a part of her thoughts and her conversation. And so it will be for you. Your mum will remain a very special part of your everyday, but in a new and different way. You'll hear her voice when you least expect it, and feel her presence when you need her most. I asked her one time, "Lorraine, are you afraid to die?" And she said, "No, not afraid, just sad. Sad to leave my kids." So are we, Lorraine, sad. Sad to have to let you go. So kids and family, you grieve, but please know we are here to grieve with you and to support you. And together, smiles do come amidst the tears. And so we say, rest in peace, Lorraine. Her wonderful music makers say, rest in peace, Lorraine. Thank you for listening, for appreciating, for sometimes critiquing our music, and for calling us your friends. Her co-workers say, rest in peace, Lorraine. You cared, you directed and taught, you were special. We, her friends, how truly we will miss you. We say, rest in peace, Lorraine. Thank you for your gifts of companionship, kindness, and friendship. And you, her much-loved family, can also say, rest in peace, Mom, Grandma, sister, aunt. Dad is with you again. Dad and Mom, may rest in peace. And now, just as she embraced and lived life, let us set about having a darn good time in her honor. But before we do, I'd like to close with a prayer I love. I like to think it epitomizes the way Lorraine lived her life. Please join me in the prayer of St. Francis. It's on the little programs you picked up as you came in. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Now I know many of you have very special memories of Lorraine. I'd like to invite any of you who would like to come and share some of those memories with us to feel free and come and do that now. I think Joan had something she wanted to share to start us off.
Lorraine, as Sheila was saying, was a very special person. Sheila and Dennis, since I've met them, I have found them to be just about the nicest people. They did come up to visit and brought Lorraine with them, and I hope we continue to see each other. I'd like to say thank you to her family, the children. They've been so close to their mother. It's been just a treat to see. There was never an activity, be it Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, birthdays, anniversaries, that there wasn't a huge feast. Didn't matter if there was 5 people or there was 20 people. Lorraine handled it. She is a hard act to follow. I'm third eldest of the 13. She's third youngest. But I'll tell you, I learned a lot from Lorraine. Also, when there was a medical problem, even this past week, I felt like calling her and saying, Lorraine, what's the problem taking this or taking that? She was always there for those questions. She never demanded anything of anyone. She just went along as it went. I don't recall her rocking any boats. She was comfortable in the last few days. I was there up until Tuesday noon, and she passed on Thursday. And although we slept wherever we could in the hospital, it was comfortable to be there. You didn't feel that she was uncomfortable. We talked about everything, including death. And the surprise that it was coming so quickly. We were anticipating 4 to 6 weeks, and it was maybe 10 days from the time we got the 4 to 6 weeks count. So it was quick, and that was a very great blessing. And I don't know how I can possibly say any more about it than has already been said. It's just one of those beautiful people. If anyone else would like to say a few words, that would be great.
My name is Karen. And I met Lorraine probably 6 years ago at this place. And I ended up sitting at her table. We struck up a conversation. I learned that she was a registered nurse, which I am as well. And I've been nursing a very long time, and so had she. And to be a good nurse takes certain characteristics. You need to be loving, compassionate, giving, respectful, a good listener, and the list goes on. And my friend Lorraine had all of those characteristics. So what I would like to say is that I have lost a friend, as you have, a mother, etc. But I feel peaceful within myself knowing that she gave all she had to give with all of her heart, gave everything to us as friends and family, and we can't ask for any more than that. Thank you.
Now, in true Lorraine style, I've got mine. Let's raise a glass, love her, love her, love her, and cherish the good times we all shared with her. There is a table with a lot of food there. Please make yourself at home. Family members, I know many of you have traveled a distance to be here today. Please come chat with us as well. We'd all love to get to know you and enjoy, because that truly is what Lorraine really would like. Bless you and bless her. Rest in peace, our friend.